This is Rap the News, and I want to talk a little bit about living set apart. And I'm just not talking about it, I'm actually living this way. And so, if you need suggestions, if you're trying to live set apart as well, this might be helpful for you. So, one of the things to get, if you can get a piece of land and you're going to build houses on it, you should get a solar generator. And these are solar generators right here. You can hook them up to solar panels, and basically they charge and stuff, and you can take them anywhere you want to go, like if you're building in different places on the land without hauling some big diesel motor around to try to run everything off of it. You could take these and run power tools and everything else off of it as you build. And the next thing, if you're going to be using some strong power tools or things like digging equipment or whatever, is a generator. And I would go with I have a regular generator, but I'm getting a propane generator because I want to try to run a bio system off of the propane generator, and I wonder, will it run? I don't know if anybody have ever did it before, but this is one of the things I want to try. So this is a biogas digester. That's what they call it, a biogas digester. And basically you can put anything from shit to food in there, and this thing turns it into gas, right? And so this gas could hook up to the propane generator and run it if the whole system just fell down. Well, as long as your generator runs, and you keep it up, it should be, you should be in good standing for a while, And you can also run that biogas digester into your house and run your stove and everything else off of it. It actually will run your stove, and you can just do it off of waste food and poop. A lot of people use cow poop and animal poop, and they water it down, and it creates this gas, and the gas gets stored up, and you run a hose from the stored gas into your house, and hook it up to your equipment. And so people in India and Africa is using this system. The first thing I would do if I secured a piece of property and land is put in a septic tank. So you want to dig and put in a septic tank as fast as possible. You know what I mean? And so I would get my water down first, where I'm going to be pooping and everything else. That way I don't have to travel a mere mile every time I have to use the bathroom or go squat next to a tree and screw up your land, pooping every damn where. You know what I mean? Do it yourself, well pump. You could build it out of PV pipes. It's all over YouTube. It's been there for a long time. We've tried it, but we haven't succeeded at making a well with the well pump yet. We got down about a little over 10 feet, and then this is like hard dirt where we are, so it was like very hard to do that. We would have to really take our time, to actually build that, but we have the equipment and the pipes and everything else to run already, just in case we need to do that. It's always good to have something on standby. Also, solar lights, and these solar lights is good. The only thing about the solar lights is you got to put them up high because of bats and bugs and stuff like that, and you don't want to be putting them down low where your head is and bugs and stuff is flying past, because you never know what is flying to the light. You know what I mean? So you want these up kind of high. Motion detectors, it would be good if it had a little alarm on it, because the light might go on and off and you didn't see it. But if you will always hear, usually, unless you sleep, sleeping hard, the motion detector siren. So that would be awesome as well. They have these other lights, and these called wireless lights, which run off batteries and stuff like that. And you can get rechargeable batteries and stuff like that, and run these wireless lights off of, and that should be pretty awesome as well. a smokehouse, man. If you're trying to live off the land and let's say the dollar bill collapse and everything go wrong, you're gonna need a way to store your meat. If you catch an animal or deer or anything else like that, you got to store your meat and smoke it, or you can cure the meat by salting the meat, and hanging it up. And that's another way to keep meat for a long time without a refrigerator. A rain gutter system, where when it rains and stuff, you got to make the use of the land, so you got to collect as much water as you can. So these little blue buckets are awesome for collecting and rain storage or water storage. So as much as these little buckets are around, or you have these little 55-gallon water tanks, you need to fill as many of them up with water as possible, so you can always have water on hand just in case something happens. Definitely, if you get the land secured and you got your fencing and everything right, you can raise some goats or chickens or whatever you want to raise, so you can have your animals. You got to know what predators are. If you got like mountain lions, we got mountain lions, and things like that. If they're around, they will jump your fence and kill your animals, So you got to have your animals secure. You probably need to have some guard dogs or something like that. Another thing to have around, if you run out of food or things get bad, you can't go to the supermarket, and this is why you want to live set apart. You don't want to be reliant on the system. You still hooked up to the umbilical cord of the satanic system. Foot traps for animals. You got to know when you catch the animal in the foot trap, it's going to be gory and it's going to be bad. The animal probably going to be hollering and making noises. It's going to be sickening. You got to have a strong stomach, man. And you got to put a bullet in their ass quick. Just put them out of their misery. So, foot traps is awesome. So I have gotten as much of this stuff as I possibly can get, And gardening, you got to know when to garden, the season of the plants, everything else. You don't want to be planting out of season and, your garden don't grow or it ain't growing right. And raised state beds work better than just planting it directly in the ground. I don't know why, but it just does. So you can make, raised state beds out of just wood, or brick. And, with that said, that's pretty much what you need, to be, I don't like to say self-sufficient, because we all relying on God. If God is not taking care of us, you don't breathe or eat or anything else. So nobody is self-sufficient, but to try to be as self-reliant as possible. Strap the nose.